when you're able to see and recognize what it is that fills you with energy, that fills you with excitement, that makes your day better and makes your life worth living, I believe you should go after that. What's up, pals, and welcome back to another episode of The Passion Project. I'm your host, Hallee Smith, visual storyteller and creator on TikTok and YouTube. I hope this podcast can inspire you to get out of your comfort zone and into your passion so that you can live a truly fulfilling life. And the best part about this is, we're on this journey together. So let's go. So before we jump in today, I want to share something with you guys that I'm super excited about. And that is, I launched a Patreon! Woo! So this is a place where all of my platforms, from YouTube to TikTok to this podcast, come together to build a community really of like-minded individuals. The tiers and perks include bonuses like podcast episodes, extra podcast episodes, extra videos, exclusive merch design you can't get anywhere else, a community Discord chat where we can all talk directly and in real time. I'm also running a special on this, so the first 50 people to sign up, no matter what tier, you will get a personalized, handwritten postcard from me. There's also a low tier for anybody that, doesn't necessarily want to actively participate, but they want to support my videos or help support this podcast monetarily. I currently don't make anything monetarily off this podcast. I'm not even placing ads or pitching sponsorships at this time. So any support's greatly appreciated, but of course, never expected. Just listening and sharing the episodes helps more than you know. So without further ado, let's jump into today's episode. Hello, my beautiful podcast beans, and welcome back. I'm still in my car, as you guys can see, and that is because I am pre-recording this episode. What I've been doing is recording 1 week in advance and just doing one episode at a time because I like to talk about things that are relevant to me, that I'm feeling, that the emotion is there for. But unfortunately, I had to batch this one with the one before. So we're in my car because they're testing the fire alarms. But with that being said, this topic is still something that is quite relevant to me quite often. And I think it's something a lot of people might not realize that they feel, and it can be a roadblock to following your passions. So we're going to talk about it today. And that is the guilt of doing what you love. Feeling guilty for following your passions and genuinely enjoying your experience day to day doing what you love. It comes with guilt sometimes. It's something I have experienced a lot in the past, embarking on this journey. So let's start with an example. Let's say somebody hates their job. They're miserable. They complain every day about existing, basically, and going to work, etc. There actually is an unfortunate amount of people like this, and it can make you, someone who might be choosing to go off on your own or thinking about, not go off on your own, but go after what you want and what makes you, excited and passionate and what you think would fill you with joy on a day-to-day basis. There's this guilt that can creep in, and it says, well, that's not fair. They're not super happy. So why do I get to be happy? And the simple answer is because you choose to, because you're being intentional, because you're choosing this path. You're choosing to go in a certain direction, and that's fine. A lot of times it comes with healing too, but here's what I believe. I truly believe that this world needs more people doing what they love intentionally, on purpose. Because when you're able to heal yourself internally, when you're able to see and recognize what it is that fills you with energy, that fills you with excitement, that makes your day better and makes your life worth living, I believe you should go after that. Because when you do this and you're giving off this energy of joy, you're going to inspire other people. You're going to inspire other people to do the same thing you're doing. You're going to live by example. You're leading by example by following your heart. Now, keep in mind that this looks different to everybody. No two people's journeys are going to look exactly the same. Just because I'm doing one thing, I'm a content creator, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be being a content creator or starting a business. It can be, of course. Those are some great paths to go in, especially if you want to be individualistic. You don't want anybody to be telling you necessarily what to do. You kind of want that freedom to figure it out yourself. That's one way you can go. However, there's so many other directions that, it literally can be whatever you want. For example, if your vision in life and your passion, you feel like your calling is to raise a family, that's more personal than professional, and that's totally fine. But here's the thing, if you want to be intentional, you want to be intentional about that, because when you recognize that that's what you want to be doing, that's what's going to fulfill you, that's where you want to be spending your time, then you can structure your life in a way that allows you to live like that, allows you to spend more time with your husband or your kids or your wife or whatever it may be, your partner. When you're intentional, you will be able to structure your life to fit that thing or those things or those passions. I know we say multi-passionate, that you want. If you're multi-passionate and you don't want to ever stick to one niche, find a way to structure your life in that way. I've said this on here before, but Emily Wapnick's book, How to Be Everything, if you are multi-passionate, you have to read that book, because it gives you specific approaches to building a life around being multi-passionate. It gives you techniques, tangible things to do. So if you want tangible steps and you're multi-passionate, there's a plug for you. Go check that book out. So whatever it looks like for you, go for it. Just go for it. And don't feel guilty about it, because yes, I'll be honest with you, there will be people that try to drag you down. They'll say, stay where you are for X, Y, and Z reasons. Don't listen. Go after that thing. I get comments on my videos all the time saying like, what the heck are you even contributing to society? Or do you do anything useful with your life other than record it and post on social media? Or I hate people like you. Like, I get all kinds of troll comments like that. And sometimes they still do get to me. Like, not like they used to, but it's hard because I know my intention and I know what I'm going for. But that's the thing that's held me through those comments, is knowing what my real mission is. And the other piece of that is recognizing that these people are just projecting onto you. They're projecting the whole world. Everything's a mirror. Everything is a mirror. I'm telling you, if you pay attention to it, you'll notice it. People are projecting onto you. You project onto others. So if somebody is treating you in this way and saying these bad things to you, it's because they're not coming from a good place. So have empathy for them. Gary Vee talks about this all the time. If you know who Gary Vee is, he always talks about having empathy. But seriously, I used to understand it just conceptually. I used to only understand that conceptually. I'd be like, well, yeah, like have empathy, whatever, but like they're still hurting my feelings. No. What they're saying has nothing to do with you. It really doesn't. It has everything to do with them and how they feel about themselves and maybe an internal conflict. So instead of getting upset and mad at them about it, feel bad for them. And not in a bad way. Literally think about, wow, this person is clearly not in a good place. For them to be going out of their way to try to make me feel bad about something I'm doing that I enjoy. Tell me the last time you've seen a happy person, and I mean a truly happy person, say something mean to you or anyone else. Somebody who is in a good place. You probably haven't. I haven't. I've never seen a truly happy person, someone who's truly filled with joy and in a good place, attack someone else and come after them and tell them they're doing everything wrong. Sure, maybe constructive criticism and they're trying to help you, but they're never going to say something mean or, pulling you down for what you're doing. So keep that in mind. Keep that one in mind. And I get asked a lot how to overcome hate comments and deal with hate on the internet. That's how. That is exactly how. And I'm telling you, it takes constant work. It's not always easy. I do have to self-coach myself through that a lot, or vent it to somebody like a friend or my boyfriend, because, sometimes it does, it gets to you, and that's okay to admit that. It is okay. Don't lie to yourself. But, like I said, don't let it affect your path or where you're trying to go. So the moral of today's episode, push past that guilt, find your intention, know your mission, and stick to it through it all, no matter what people are saying, no matter what you think people are going to say. A lot of times that's what it is. It's us telling ourselves what people are going to say, and nobody actually said that. That's something I recently wrote on my mirror, actually. I wrote, did someone actually say that to you? Or who said that? Because a lot of times you trick yourself into thinking there's these things that people are going to say. You assume that that's real, but who said it? Name it. Say it out loud. Who told you that? A lot of times it's the little voice in your head that's trying to talk you out of doing something that makes you nervous, that's out of your comfort zone. And that's fine, but just know, push past it, get past that guilt, and go after that passion, no matter what's holding you back. And by doing so, you will find joy, you will inspire others, and you will make a bigger impact than even you believe that you can have. So, my podcast beans, send this to somebody who needs a little boost, a little kick in the butt, a little motivation. Someone who needs to hear this episode. Or give us a review. I always end by saying this because it helps to boost the show and reach people that it could help. And as always, send in your questions, topic suggestions, favorite episode, favorite moment. And as I mentioned before, check out the Patreon. I have it linked in the show notes. I should have said that earlier. But it's patreon.com/Hallee, Hallee, the commonly misspelled. If you haven't seen my Starbucks series, that's why I always say that, is because people often don't spell my name right. And I get it. It's not an easy one. So, with that, my podcast beans again. And I'm going to tell you in the next episode, hopefully, if I remember, I'll try to remember. I'm going to explain to you why I call you guys podcast beans, because some of you might be wondering, okay? Anyways, we'll talk about that next time. I hope you have an amazing week. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Peace out, pals.